again with the Buff Missionary, and I'm home. I'm home. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what it is. You can see it. And the reality is there are so many stories that I need to catch up to, or to catch up with, as far as the pod and the YouTube goes. But being here again right now means that I gotta put those on hold, and I gotta tell at least a little bit of the story right now. So yeah, I'm back. I'm back in Palau, at least for this Christmas break, and it's been amazing so far. Palau, again, as you can see, it's like literally one of the most beautiful places in the world, and it also happens to be where I served as a missionary for 5 years in a couple different stints. And man, couldn't get enough, came back. And just to give you a little bit of a breakdown of that experience again. So 2010, after graduating from university, I decided to come out here because I had no plan for life or anything. So figured I'd come out here, explore, travel the world, do something at least useful, beneficial. And I came out here and discovered something that was those the homies over there. I don't know what they up to. But I discovered, I think it would call it the beginning of purpose. I say the beginning of purpose because in the moment I didn't know what it was, but there was something about being here that I really was drawn to, in the sense like, whoa, I like what I'm doing. There's a satisfaction from doing this that I hadn't had in any of the other things that I had done up to that point. But I didn't realize that purpose is how I could define it. I just knew that I found something in Palau that I didn't have and I'd never experienced anywhere else. And when I ended up leaving, I knew it was something that I definitely had to get more of. And so I worked a few different jobs here and there after coming back home for my first year. But Palau was always in the back of my mind, and I couldn't wait to get back out here again. It was life-changing that first year. I ended up getting rebaptized while out here in the ocean. And, it's just on another level. But I will say this, I was not the greatest of missionaries, and I could have done things a lot better. I think, if I'm being completely honest, I was very selfish. And a lot of the things that I did, and a lot of the drivers of some of my actions while I was here, was very me-centered. And it's really a miracle and a blessing that the people appreciated what I was doing so much, and I was able to get out of that for enough to connect with the people in a way that made it a good thing for me to come back. But with that being said, 2015 was like a redemption tour for me, so to speak. Like, I came back with the intention of saying, you know what, I see some of the mistakes I made and some of the things I could have done better for my first time, and I wanted to right those wrongs. I wanted to give more than I had given before, and I wanted to focus on something other than and outside of myself. I signed up for a 2-year contract to come back in 2015, ultimately ended up staying for 4, and I realized that for as much as I could give, I couldn't outgive the people of Palau. But I wanted to try. That was the goal. I wanted to try. Every time I thought I would give more or level up my giving, they leveled up theirs. And I I still say after being here for 5 years, a lot of people look at that as a big sacrifice and say, wow, like how'd you spend that long overseas doing something different in a foreign country? And to me, I gained more from the experience of being here for 5 years and how it's impacted me after being here. I've gained more because of the people and because of this experience than I ever could have given. And it continues to give, because I'm back here again now, hanging out with family and friends and former missionaries. And it's an amazing experience that you can't measure that. And if there was something I wanted to capture in a nutshell for students who are on the fence, this is the thing that always gets me. I've talked about this in episodes before. It's hilarious to me how people struggle with the idea of experiencing something like this. You know what I'm saying? And granted, every location isn't exactly like this. But what I mean is the experience to engage with a different culture and a different people, and to experience something that's impossible to get within your comfort zone back home, wherever home is. I wish more people would just be able to take that step and to go out there and do something about it, you know? But 2019 comes around anyway. And ironically, speaking of the comfort zone, the reason I ended up leaving to go back home was because I was getting comfortable out here. A place that was outside of my comfort zone initially actually began to become a comfort zone. And again, the reality is, I feel like I say this all the time, but you can't grow inside of a comfort zone. So I wanted to grow. And whether I was right or wrong, that was just the impression I had at the time. So I said, I need to go. I need to do something different. And as a result, is why I ended up at Andrews. Having graduated from Southern, Andrews was a place I said I would never go. And as a business major at Southern, being a pastor was something going to the seminary, that was like, oh man, never in a million years would I do something like that. But I ended up choosing that route because I knew that for me to really go to the next level, I had to be out of my comfort zone. And that was the biggest out of comfort zone experience I could think of. So, you know, for all of that experience, there has been a lot of growth, and I'm still learning to appreciate the experience as well. And there are elements of that are tough because I'm working full time now, and I'm still doing school half-time. Another year, hopefully I'll be done, but we'll see. No promises, unfortunately. But it's been a good experience, and of course, being able to get back out here definitely helps. But like I said, I finished in 2019. Right now it's 2021, the end of 2021. And my original goal was to get back out here every year after coming back, after returning to the States. And COVID really messed that up. And it's interesting, some of you probably understand where I'm coming from when I say this, but COVID seems to have stretched out what time feels like. Like, it's only 2.5 years after I was here last time, but it feels like 4 or 5. And it was funny because we got to go to the school yesterday, the elementary school. And I remember having this kind of nervous feeling about, man, am I going to know any of the students that are here? Like, are they all moved on to high school? And I felt that at most I would know maybe the upper grades, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Turns out I knew students all the way down to 3rd grade, and they still remembered me, and even some 2nd graders. And I was like, man, I realized just how, I guess a couple things in that moment. One, how much I really wanted to come back and how much I missed them, but also just how time was different being away. It's interesting. I don't really know how to explain it. So we have this thing called island time where everything is kind of on your own pace. But island time, it's not the same back home. Everything is rushed. Everything is about meetings this, meetings that. Like, you have less time to just sit and chill in places like this and experiences like this, just to kind of be yourself and do whatever. I don't know. It just feels like there's so many more things that are pressing. And I'm not saying that I wasn't busy out here, because, I was. I'll tell some of those stories later, but it's just a different vibe. It's just a different vibe. But anyway, the bottom line is, I knew that once the opportunity came to return out here, it had to be done. I had to get back. I had to see these people and get back into this experience again, especially because Michigan's cold, all right? I'm not gonna front. And it wasn't actually horrible when I left. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But it's like, I don't know, something about being up there. Seasonal depression is a thing for some people. I don't think it's a thing for me. But there is something that you kind of get the sense of when you look up and it's gray skies all the time, and it's raining and it's cold and it's windy, and you got to walk between all over the place. It's just, it's not inspiring. Maybe that's a good way to put it. It's not inspiring. This is inspiring, okay? This right here can inspire me all day. And every morning that I've been here, I've come out here to have worship and just to appreciate creation. And I wish I had a place like this in Michigan where I could do that, but I don't for right now. I need to go explore more, but there's definitely not something just out in my backyard where I can go and I can feel this in tune with creation and with God. And I know that's part of the experience for me, because in discovering and putting myself in a position to be out here in mission and service is what really unlocked the potential for me to discover the reality of God. So the nature, the experience of mission and service, and the reality of God are all tied together for me here. So it's different. All semester, I think I've been struggling to spend 5 minutes in my devotions and talking to God, and being so busy with work and with school and stuff. But being able to get back out here, it's been different than the other breaks that I've been able to take, because the connection is a little bit different. And I say that understanding and appreciating what I'm experiencing here, but also realizing that it's something that I have to learn to translate to wherever I am. You can't base your spirituality on a particular location or on a particular feeling. The reality of God is bigger than that. You have to find a way to take the awesome things that you found in one place and carry that with you as you go through the other aspects and the other parts of your journey. So that's something I'm still working on. But I'll say this. One, this is kind of just a rambling podcast or YouTube episode. You call it what you want. But the bottom line of why I'm recording this particular video is just to say, being back reminds me why I love mission and service so much. Like, it was yesterday? Yeah, yesterday was Monday, day 4 of our quarantine. So we had a little restriction of movement. We couldn't go anywhere. But getting back to the schools and seeing the smiles on the faces of the students, and seeing the current missionaries in action here, and hanging out with the families and the people, there's nothing like it. And it just felt so, I mean, I'm out here running around. My cardio is whack. You might have seen some of the other workout videos and stuff I posted. There's not a lot of running in there. I did a lot more running yesterday than I've done in a long time, and boy, I felt like it. But you're willing to go and put yourself out there for the sake of these kids, just to have a good time, just to put a smile on their face. And man, it's something else. So, I'm out here, Buff Missionary, Coach Corey, Chaplain, Tracy, whatever you want to call it. and my buddy Coach T, he's here as well. And we've been having a lot of really good conversations, reflecting on the experiences that we've had before, looking at ways that we can improve, and repeatedly coming back to this place. It's like a boost for the things that we're doing right now. Me as an assistant dean and a student in Michigan, and Coach T as a missionary teacher in Guam. So there's always things that we can learn from this experience, like I said, that we're trying to take to the next level. And that's something that only getting out of the comfort zone can do. The lessons, I don't even know if I can say the lessons, but the experiences that you have that keep you comfortable are not lessons that are going to help you grow anywhere else. Because if you go into a new situation and all you're looking for is to be comfortable, you're never going to grow, you're never going to advance, you're never going to level up. You have to abandon that mentality. You have to get rid of that thought process. Life is not about being comfortable everywhere you go. Life is about growth. It's about new experience. It's about sharing your struggles and your journey and the things that you go through with the people around you, so that you can get better as you reflect on those experiences, and that other people can be benefited because you've gone through that experience. That's what life is about. And staying in the comfort zone keeps you from experiencing that reality of what life is about. Coming back here, we get a chance to reflect on those things and see how we want to share that experience moving forward. And that's one of the gifts of mission service. Getting out of the comfort zone, coming back into a place that was out of the comfort zone, that became a comfort zone. But taking all of that and saying, how do we want to level up and continue to go beyond the comfort zone in the sense of mission and service to be a benefit to somebody else? That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about representing for Christ out here and just sharing with someone else that the fact that someone you don't know can care about you, that's the reality of God right there. That's the reality of God. So, yeah, thanks for listening to this rambling. And if you like it, go ahead and like it, share it, comment, all that good stuff. And you're out here with the Buff Missionary. You see the socials, give it a follow. And I guess today we're gonna go back to the school. There's a Christmas program tonight. Gonna enjoy that. And I'm just excited. I'm excited. Woke up, so I'm a little bit tired, but I'm very excited. So hey, I'm gonna sign off on this one, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, all right? So, as always, to exist, it's not enough. We out here to be out here. So until next time, let it do what it do, baby. Back to